Bad passenger behavior on cruise ships is undeniably on the rise. While Carnival has already tightened its rules to curb these incidents, unruly guests now seem to be making their way onto Royal Caribbean. According to various reports and social media footage, the number of fights aboard Royal Caribbean ships appears to have inched up slightly compared to 2024, including minor scuffles that didn't result in serious injuries. Many might argue that Royal still has a long way to go before catching up to Carnival's history of onboard chaos, but what about the future? As Carnival continues to crack down with stricter policies, it's hard to ignore the possibility that fights could become more frequent on Royal Caribbean instead. Could this cruise line eventually become the next Carnival when it comes to brawls at sea? Let's dive into that question in today's episode of Cruise Now. First, to answer the question, we need to look at Royal Caribbean's current situation. Over the past few weeks, the cruise line has faced a string of serious troubles and disruptions across several sailings. One shocking case involved a passenger in Puerto Rico who jumped overboard in an attempt to escape a $16,000 gambling debt. On another cruise in the Adriatic Sea, crew members issued a security alert when a guest was found carrying a letter opener described as being the size of a Greek dagger. Although the item was confiscated, the passenger was still allowed to remain on board. More recently, Royal Caribbean was forced to turn a ship back to port to get two injured passengers emergency medical treatment after a violent brawl broke out at sea. The incident happened aboard Wonder of the Seas, one of the newest Oasis-class megaships, which can carry up to 7,084 passengers. Normally one of Royal Caribbean's most celebrated and sought-after vessels, the Wonder instead made headlines when it had to return to Port Miami due to injuries from the fight. Passengers on board captured video footage of the altercation, giving the public a closer look at the chaos. Special thanks went to Facebook user Tina, who shared the clip widely. Besides, according to Jessica Atkinson, a guest on the sailing who described the events in a social media comment, the trouble began when a group of intoxicated young men behaved loudly and disrespectfully, eventually insulting an elderly woman. When her husband stepped in to defend her, the group allegedly attacked him. While most bystanders hesitated, one courageous man intervened to help the couple. Jessica reported that the man who was first knocked down suffered serious injuries, including a broken femur, and had to be hospitalized immediately after the ship returned to port. As a result, the entire disruptive group, around 20 people, including children, was removed from the ship. The ship's pool area was sealed off, and the captain announced that the vessel would return to Miami to properly handle the incident. After witnessing the entire incident, I'm certain that no passenger on that cruise will ever forget the chaos. And if you're over 50, you might seriously think twice before booking a voyage like this. No matter what, younger travelers often tend to be more hot-tempered and impulsive compared to older passengers. They can be restless and drawn to excitement rather than calm. As we saw in the video, even when others tried to intervene, one of the younger passengers was still able to shove the older man to the ground, and for someone who has worked hard and endured decades of wear and tear, even a seemingly light push can cause serious injuries that may require long-term treatment. As of now, there's no official word on any arrests. Of course, Royal Caribbean enforces a strict code of conduct and has zero tolerance for violence on board. It's highly likely that the passengers involved in the fight will be banned from all future Royal Caribbean sailings and could also face criminal charges and fines. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to help me reach my first 5,000 subscribers. Your support is a huge motivation for me to keep bringing you the latest cruise updates. Thank you so much. Alongside debating the cause of the brawl, cruise passengers across various communities have also begun offering advice to one another. One tip that stood out and received a lot of agreement is to choose longer cruises instead of shorter ones. But that raises an important question. Do shorter sailings really lead to more disruptions? A lively discussion on a Reddit forum and Facebook social media points out that quick getaways often see more incidents than longer voyages. Many people have pointed out that these brief itineraries have earned a reputation as booze cruises, where the party vibe is stronger, drinking is heavier, and self-control sometimes takes a back seat. With only a few days at sea and the temptation of all-inclusive drink packages, some guests try to get their money's worth in record time. Unfortunately, that can lead to overindulgence, lowered inhibitions, and the occasional outburst. Of course, nothing excuses violent behavior, but it raises the question, what can cruise lines do to prevent it? Many are stepping up onboard security, responding to disturbances more swiftly and decisively. Reminders about the code of conduct are now routinely sent to booked passengers and printed in daily newsletters. One bold suggestion circulating among frequent cruisers is to eliminate unlimited drink packages on short itineraries, forcing guests to pay per drink. The idea is that if alcohol isn't essentially bottomless, fewer passengers will push their limits. While no major cruise line has implemented such a policy on U.S. home port sailings, it's an idea worth considering. That said, it all ultimately comes down to passenger behavior and awareness. If people improve their conduct, our cruise culture will surely become the kind of civilized experience everyone hopes for. Of course, it's impossible to control everything, but at the very least, strict cruise line policies serve as a barrier against bad behavior. Royal Caribbean really needs to start enforcing those rules more aggressively, otherwise it might not be long before it earns a reputation as a second Carnival. And don't think I'm exaggerating. The truth is, this isn't the only fight or disruption that's happened on a Royal Caribbean ship in 2024, when another drunk and disorderly passenger allegedly tried to assault two crew members and even attempted to kick down a door to reach one of them. Witnesses said he was shouting profanities and making racist remarks. Security eventually subdued the man using rope restraints and handcuffs, but he died shortly afterward. Many suspected that he wasn't just drunk, but may also have been under the influence of illegal substances, which could have contributed to his sudden death. The troubles for Royal Caribbean didn't stop there this year. Also in April, a violent incident occurred aboard the Liberty of the Seas, resulting in the arrest of an 18-year-old passenger, Michael White, from Siler City, North Carolina. According to local news reports and the Broward Sheriff's Office, the incident took place while Liberty of the Seas was at sea. During an elevator ride, a couple of passengers asked a group of teenagers and young men to stop jumping up and down on the elevator, which was causing it to sway while in motion. The report indicated this caused the group to reply, "Bitch, who are you talking to?" When the elevator reached the 8th floor and stopped, the couple tried to exit the elevator but were assaulted. Once the victim got out, he said he started getting struck by individuals in the face area, causing him to stagger backward. After staggering backward, he fell to the floor, and that's when he started getting kicked. Also, at this point, the victim said he blacked out, and the next thing he knew, he woke up in a pool of blood on the floor. Upon the ship's return to Port Everglades, Broward County Police boarded the vessel and arrested Michael White, charging him with aggravated battery causing bodily harm, which is a felony charge. And let's not forget about the poolside brawl at Royal Caribbean's private island, Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which involved more than 24 people. The incident, captured on video and shared on Reddit, shattered the normally peaceful vibe of the island. It all started when a group of guests staying in the overwater cabanas complained that other swimmers were drifting too close to their area. According to witnesses, lifeguards had warned guests to stay clear of the cabana zone because the tide was pushing people into restricted waters. Most complied, but tensions rose when a man accidentally floated into the area. A heated argument broke out after one cabana guest yelled at him to leave. Things escalated when a woman in the cabana demanded that a lifeguard do his job after the man wasn't immediately removed. Two men from the cabana group then entered the water, allegedly attempting to drag the man down. Defending himself, the man began throwing punches. As the fight intensified, someone from the cabana group tossed the man's hat back at him, sparking more insults and taunts that fueled the chaos. Island security and jet ski lifeguards rushed in to break it up and question those involved. Despite the mayhem, many witnesses sided with the man, saying he acted in self-defense and criticizing the cabana group's behavior when speaking to security. The incidents I've mentioned above are only a few of the cases that went viral and involved actual injuries. In reality, many types of bad behavior frequently occur on cruise ships. And have you noticed something? Most of these incidents involve young people, and as we've seen, even children at times. This may help explain why, over the past year or two, there's been a growing trend away from lively party-style cruises toward quieter sailings, and even the rise of adults-only ships that ban children altogether. That said, for families, large, activity-filled ships remain the perfect choice for an amazing vacation. If you see something that makes you uncomfortable, report it to onboard security. Don't try to handle it yourself. And when it comes to your children, stay close to them and teach them how to behave properly. I wish all of you watching this video an incredible cruise vacation, and if you'd like us to recommend ships that best fit different types of travelers, leave a comment below. See ya.